Turpin's 60-yard punt return touchdown sealed the game for Dallas. Did he do it by himself? Was it great blocking or bad coverage? Maybe it was a combination of all three. I'm Jake McQuaide, 13-year NFL veteran, here to break it down for you as I take you into the special teams meeting. The first place I want to take you guys is the wide copy, where we can get a good idea of Dallas's plan just by looking at the box count. Now, the box count refers to how many guys Dallas is going to keep in the box during the punt return. Now, if you come out and they have 6 guys in the box, that means, well, you have 10 punt return players besides the returner, so you have 10 blockers available. If you have only 6 in the box, that leaves you 4 to block these guys out here, the gunners. Well, why would you want to use that? Well, the gunners are the best players on the punt team. They are the most dangerous cover player. So if you can double team both of them, that gives you a better chance to get the return started. The trade-off is you only have 6 players in the box to prevent any fakes. After all, the number one goal on punt return is to get the ball back. They're going to give us the ball back. Let's let them do that. We don't want to give them an opportunity to run a fake. So 6 box is usually seen in a 4th and long or an obvious return setting. Now you can go maybe drop one of those guys back into the box. That gives you a 7 box. Now you only have 1 double team on the outside, but you're a little bit more protected against any fakes. Less likely to get a good return, but safer to get the ball back, which is our ultimate goal. Here, Dallas is not in a 6 or a 7 box. They're actually in an 8 box. Despite the fact that it's 4th and, I think, nearly 20 on this play. And you would think that's a little bit peculiar. If they're trying to set up a return, as obviously they do, it's a punt return for a touchdown, you would expect them to be in a 6 box, maybe a 7 box. But Dallas is a little bit unique. They have 2 players out here on the outside. This one is C.J. Goodwin, who's been doing it for a long time. An absolute stud on the outside. Down here, number 83, I don't know much about him. His last name's Brooks. He's a younger guy. The beautiful thing about the NFL is these guys practice together every day in training camp. I'm sure C.J. Goodwin has been schooling him up on some of those tricks of the trade outside. So what Dallas is saying is, we don't need to double team outside. We have 2 guys out here that in an 8 box, they can hold up against a gunner and get the return started. And really, that's their whole job. So if they can get the return started, meaning their gunner does not cause a fair catch, then this is a victory. So let's see how these fellas do. Okay, ball's caught here. Now, let's take a look at CJ at the top of the screen here. He is got his guy about 10 yards from the ball. That's a massive victory. Huge win for the punt return squad here. Now, the second gunner, the bottom of the screen gunner, he's way down here. That's about 20 yards from the ball. Again, devastating win for the punt return. We have a chance here. Next, I'm going to take you in here to the tighter copy. This will give us a better look at what Dallas is really doing here on the inside. As you can see, we have 8 bodies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the 8 punt players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we're feeling pretty good. If they try to run any fakes, anything weird, we got them covered up pretty good. But let's see when the ball snapped how things change. Number 30 over here rolls out here. Now we're in a little bit of a load out to the right. Okay, and ball snapped. All right, what do we see here? What we're going to see here is number 1 and number 42, right at the snap, bail out. They're going to run back and be point of attack blockers. So this essentially becomes a 6-man return on the inside with 2 extra guys at the point of attack that are going to help us make sure that we can get this return going. Okay, now, the reason we know for sure this is a right return is we just look at the numbers here. How many guys is Dallas using to block the left side over here versus the right side? Okay, so the left side of Cleveland's punt team has 3 players. And when the ball is snapped, our guy 24 is running. He's going to run from here and run over here and set up the return. So he's not even involved over here. Number 1, we said dropped out. So what does that leave us? Number 41 is going to block 1, 2, 3 players from Cleveland. So there is absolutely no way Dallas is going to run the ball left here. This is not a left return. They wouldn't block the entire left side with 1 player if they were trying to run that way. Now, what do we have on the right side? We have number 30 out here is going to spy the personal protector, number 12. Okay, so those two are together. We have 91, we have 14, and we have 40. On the guard, tackle, and wing, 1, 2, 3, man-to-man blocking. Okay, so we got the front side of the return blocked up man-to-man. We got the back side being held up with 1 player. We got our PP man-to-man, and we got the long snapper cut loose. So let's let this play out. And this is where we want to first highlight Turpin. What makes Turpin dangerous is that he does have that speed to run all the way around. He can get all the way to the sideline if he wants to. But that's not the most dangerous return. You don't see those returns really gash people that often. All these guys can run. It takes a long time to make that whole run. But he has the juice to do it. He can. What's really dangerous with a guy who has that kind of speed is he starts to stretch it to the field, making it look like I'm going to the sideline. And as soon as he sees a seam, he goes from stretch to cut vertical, and he starts gaining positive yards down the field. Those vertical returns are the ones that really gash people for long returns and for touchdowns. You have to have a guy that has that elite speed and vision, great ball skills to get it going right now. And so these cover guys feel your speed right now and start to overplay the return. And that's what we're going to see right here. So he's going to feel he's got a blocker outside of him, and he sees KaVontae Turpin going to the field. And he's thinking, okay, I cannot get beat outside. And instead of stepping to him, he gets up the field. Turpin feels this gap right here, and he hits it. And this is what's dangerous with the returner, because he's getting up the field right through the middle of your defense. Why does that gap exist? Okay, this right here is the guard on the punt team. That's a big man. That is a tight end. And the guy blocking him is a defensive lineman. So you're looking at least 500 pounds rolling downhill, high speed. This block right here is the one that sets off this whole return. This block right here is performing surgery in the back of a moving car. The high-speed precision of this block is incredible. And to get a better look at it, we're going to look at the back view here. Coming in from the left side right here, these are our two big fellas. You can see right here, it's a little blurry because it's such high-speed footage, but his hand is on his back. And you think, oh, that's kind of dangerous. That might be a block in the back. Well, what he's doing there is he's giving this guy a one-way go. A lot of times you'll see in coverage guys worried about getting a block in the back, and they'll finish on the downfield side of the player. And when that happens, you see what's called a back pad. The cover guy will slam on the brakes, and he will club the dude past, and he'll come make the tackle. The issue is If you look at this hand, it's on the back of his shoulder. It's not on his back. So that club by move is impossible when the blocker stays on your upfield shoulder. He can't club him by. He can't come off his back and fall back and make this tackle. He is a one-way go here, and he's got to beat number 9 to that space. The problem is that number 9 for Dallas isn't Tony Romo. That's Turpin, and he's got serious gas. You're not going to beat him there. And that's what makes this block just absolute perfection. This is the type of thing that if you're in the special teams meeting, you have drilled this type of block over and over and over. And this is someone putting all of that work into action. And as a coach, what else could you possibly want? You get to see your drill work play out and set this return off for a touchdown. Let's go back here to the tight copy. Now we got the long snapper one-on-one with Turpin. Now the long snapper's doing a good job here because his job, he's not going to be the first guy down the field. There's 2 or 3 guys in the NFL that are really fast and that can play at that level. Most of the snappers are going to find themselves in this space right here. And your job is you cannot let this thing keep going downhill. You got to spray this thing sideways. And so the snapper sprays this thing sideways. Great job. Now we got to get somebody to make this play. Once he makes this turn, you can see him. He points. We'll flip it around here again. Once he makes that turn, you see him point. And where's he pointing? He's pointing ahead. Because when you're a guy like Turpin, you don't ever have to worry about anybody who's behind you. So he's telling number 24, dude, get out in front of me. Nobody behind me is a problem. He's pointing. Who's he pointing at? He's pointing at the punter. This is the part of the return that sets someone like Turpin above the great returner status into the elite returner status. Now, here's a look at it from the back view. Okay? He's got this sideline. If he just runs down this sideline, these punters, I'm telling you, these punters, it's not 1974. Okay? These guys aren't smoking cigarettes on the sideline. The guys who are punting in the NFL today are athletes. So instead of just running down this sideline, you're going to see Turpin get it in and then get it back out. When he gets it in, he's feigning like he's cutting this ball back. But all he's doing is getting that punter to stop his feet. Number 12 here is the last guy who can really make this tackle if the punter can get Turpin to cut this ball back. Once that punter stops his feet, Turpin has created the space necessary to keep this ball down the sideline and not have to cut it back. So he can keep it right on this sideline and ensure that this play ends as a touchdown. Not to mention he's got another blocker out in front. And that is the anatomy of a punt return for a touchdown. It takes all 11, but not just all 11. It takes all 11 working together. It takes elite technique. And maybe most importantly, it takes that guy number 9 right there, Turpin. It takes a guy like that can go the distance. Because when you got a guy like that playing behind him, the other 10 raise their level. And I don't think this is going to be the last one you see this year. With a guy like 9 and the other 10 guys believing in him, things could get very interesting and very dangerous very quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm new at this, so I'd love for you guys to jump in the comments. Tell me what I need to do better. Tell me what you liked. If there's a different play you want to see me break down, let me know. Like and subscribe if you want to see some more. I'm going to be putting out videos the best I can. Take it easy.